Okay, hi to all the farmers. I hope you're all doing well. Today it's really hot. It hit 35 degrees. Anyway, after the storm and everything, we replanted the whole garden. It's almost back in production. Today I'll show you the various tasks we're working on. I'm working on a series of seeds, so we'll tackle a few things today, but most importantly, I'll show you the results. We're a little behind, but that's how it goes. Let's get started. After the hailstorm we used two strategies. Trying to save what could be saved and trying to speed up the work as much as possible. As you can see, we're building these structures. We're going to stretch some wires and grow the tomatoes on strings, like in a greenhouse. So we'll run strings here and the tomato plants will be trained up the strings. We're also using these somewhat makeshift structures put together at the last minute with mistakes and so on, because I want to put the anti-hail netting over them. If it comes, we won't be able to save it anyway, but at least we try as much as possible to save everything. By the way, if you look, the vegetables are really starting to grow again. Come and see, we've already picked the first zucchinis. They're starting to produce again. So zucchinis, and look at the tomato plants here too. They're about to put out their first branches because here it's like a festival of side shoots. But you see tomatoes, eggplants that we just transplanted them, and some beets. In fact, now they're getting some water because it's pretty hot today. It's not really recommended to transplant right now, but these are the days when it's either now or never, so I have to say I'm pretty happy. We also did some quick work on the soil. The new machine that's going to do a better job is about to arrive, and you see here the soil is loosened up, the weeds are starting to dry out. This was all grass here. You can see it from the footage too. You see they're drying out. Look how easily the soil breaks up here. I used a sort of vibro harrow, but the right one still has to arrive. In fact, 6 nights, oh man, I was about to fall. Here I wasn't able to work well, so there are still a number of weeds over here and here. You see, I wasn't able to get these weeds. I have to try to figure something out, adjust the tool better, but I'll show you as soon as I manage to set it up better. But I have to tell you, look at the basil too. Forget about the weeds. These here are really the worst ones I've found, but they're starting up again really well. So I'm happy. I've worked a lot. I've really worked a lot. Now what are we going to do? String trellis, which I already tested last year. Here we'll stretch some wires, which are basically wires that will support the plants. By the way, these here are puntarelle that our customers really appreciated a lot. I didn't expect it. And instead it's really something, so we planted them again. So we're slowly getting back into the rhythm. We still have to take care of the vineyard. There are a bunch of things to handle, so tomato trellis, not bad. Wait, I forgot, that's life, you see? Last night I was so exhausted. By the way, I want to take this opportunity to tell you about the sponsor of this video, which is a sponsor I actually use. Every day I want to tell you a bit about this Milwaukee lawnmower, but also about the whole Milwaukee ecosystem, especially for gardening. As you can see, it's a lawnmower I've been using for 2 years. It's amazing, definitely made for people who want something more, especially professional users. But I've never found anyone who could make a battery-powered lawnmower like this, you see, but especially one that could offer the whole Milwaukee ecosystem. And that's what I want to focus on for a moment. Sure, I could focus on telling you that it has different heights, it has decks you can choose from. So the slightly bigger one, the slightly smaller one, it's a really sturdy collection basket. After using it for a while, look, it's still here, it keeps going, the plastic parts aren't giving out. I could tell you all the details in the world, but in my opinion, the thing that matters most, unlike a gas-powered lawnmower, is this. It's the battery. In fact, this lawnmower isn't just a single example of a battery-powered lawnmower, but it's part of an ecosystem that fits into my workdays. I use the same battery in the saw, in the impact driver I used earlier, in the drill I'm about to use, in the blower, in the brush cutter, every tool you can think of from Milwaukee. And this makes Milwaukee unique because it has a truly endless range. And that's the trick to being able to make tools like this cost-effective. Use the same battery, but most importantly, use it. Use it 365 days a year because there's always a tool you're going to use. So it doesn't really matter if I'm using the lawnmower or if I'm fixing some posts, because I'll always be using a machine and a tool that works perfectly and is top of the line. And here's a challenge for you, gardener. How many tools and different drills do you have in your workshop? really a lot. So I'm thinking about it also because there's a special promotion just for gardening. I'm sorry, because this is the only weed I wasn't able to get rid of through cultivation. But look over here at how the cultivation turned out. You see how well it cleaned up. Look here, this is the right effect. See here, look at it. You see that here I don't have any weeds, so I need to think it over carefully. I'm glad because anyway, yes, I set up the tractor correctly this year. So from here to here is exactly the tractor's track width. So we were able to work on it. So not bad. Something very interesting was the artichokes. I got this variety from Palazzina. You can see them there, but I'm selling all of them, so there's little to nothing left. You can tell it's a late variety. It's very interesting because we come at the very end. I mean, I still have artichokes in production, so this means income for me. So it's very, very interesting. Besides, I love artichokes. We really use them in a lot of things. So next year, we're going to expand the whole artichoke field as well. We're dedicating a piece of land to artichokes. Come, I'll show you and the other area too. See, they're a bit down since we just transplanted them. And you see here I managed to work the soil much better. They're a bit big, I have to be honest. I pulled up a few as well, but come and see this row. See how well this row has been cleaned. On this side though, I didn't clean it as well. It's just a matter of setting the machine better. The zucchinis are doing well. This thing here makes me very, very happy. I'm doing some tests with the corn. In fact, these are pumpkins. This here is corn, okay? The corn should grow tall and the pumpkins should stay over there along the edge. Let's see if this combination works. Well, I tried it back in the day and it didn't have a great effect, but with things running this late, let's say maybe one of the positive effects of the hailstorm, if we want to see it that way, is that I had to adapt to the vegetables I could find, and I started transplanting, or rather replanting, fennel at this time of year. Because I see that I have a lot of customers who make a lot of juices, so fennel is a vegetable that is very much appreciated. So I'm also trying out some new varieties there. Well, let's see. This year I'm noticing this. Unlike other years when I used to plant a lot of tomatoes and many varieties of just a few vegetables, this year I'm planting a little fewer varieties of each vegetable, but many different kinds of vegetables, which can be an interesting choice. This is for a very simple reason. My customers more or less in August go on vacation. So if I only plant tomatoes, I risk having an overproduction, especially since I'm running late and so on, right when everyone leaves. So I don't know who to sell the vegetables to. So even doing different rounds, let's say with faster growing vegetables, also makes sense. In my opinion, it's smart. Let's try. Anyway, if you look, the garden is productive. This year's total failure was the flowers. At a certain point after the hailstorm, I gave up. All 3 rows had come up. They really got ruined. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. These here should be ranunculus. They're pretty nice. At a certain point though, I lost the chance to sell them, so it was an experiment that this year was a total flop. Now I'm letting everything grow back in nicely. And that's it. Here we'll pull up, I'll collect the bulbs for next year and we'll make the winter garden here. But on the other side, come, I'll show you. Now we're dying. It must be about 58,000 degrees in there. I'm keeping it closed for the simple reason that the tomatoes are growing. They're growing, I can't tell you how many centimeters, but they're shooting up like crazy. And here too, we've switched to training them in a V shape, or rather to training them in a V. No, we still need to finish tightening the last wires, but these are coming along too. For us, greenhouse tomatoes are an important source of income. In fact, they allow us to extend the tomato cultivation until late November, sometimes even December. That's why we planted them a little later. Here, the hail helped us a little bit. Not too much. I mean, the hail was just bad luck, period. But let's focus on the positive. Here you go.